do the B. And people loved it. They're like, keep doing the B.
Hey, Donna fans, you're tuned in to the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Ray Donovan, Season 4, Episode 11, Chinese Algebra. Join us as we break down the episode and give you our thoughts and predictions. Let's go!
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin!
Everybody gets
I
high
love this song.
sometimes, you know.
You always got the jam.
You know I got you.
What's this song?
My method for choosing an opening song is opening up Spotify and picking the song that's #1 on the charts.
It's a good method.
So-
Crowd
Sounds
pleasing.
like
Yeah,
Justin Bieber.
absolutely. Welcome on in, everybody, to the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Ray Donovan. One episode left. Season 4, Episode 11. Thank you for tuning in. I am your lead host, Frank Maiorana. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Let's Go FrankM. I'm joined by the full panel. To my left, it's McCall Hall.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, McCall Hall. You can find me on social media when sports and pop culture collide at McCall Hall.
And a favorite of the Instagram followers out there, it's Olivia Gabaree.
Oh my gosh. What's up, everybody? Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @thereal_O_G.
Especially the single men out there. She's
Slide in the
one of
DMs.
those.
Slide in the DMs.
We got a great episode to break down, guys. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat watching this episode. I just felt so much tension watching this. But before we want to get into it, we got a little bit of news. Hank Azaria won an Emmy for support featured actor in a television series. He plays Ed Cochran and won an award. He won an Emmy, which was really cool to see. Ed is one of the most annoying characters on this show, but he does a good job, right? I mean, you love to hate Cochran.
Exactly.
You feel the same way?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, he's such a class actor and has been around for a long time and definitely added something to the show. We haven't seen much of him lately,
No.
but I mean, he's out there and he's winning awards, so it's
So
kind of cool.
that's the key to acting. They have
Yeah.
to love whatever you're doing. Either love to love him or love to hate him.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when he comes on stage and his battles with Ray were certainly memorable last season and this season, too. So really cool news out there, and I saw Liev Schreiber reached out to Hank Azaria online on Twitter this past weekend and congratulated him, so it's cool to see the family acknowledging each other. So we also start our show with our social media shout-outs, so each week you guys can comment on Twitter or directly on our YouTube page. Use that hashtag #ABTVRayDonovan, and we'll read your comments live on the air, and Olivia's going to do that right now.
Yeah, so we have quite a few from not last week, but the week before, because remember, we didn't have an episode last week.
Right.
So Review Lover says, I thought he called the Russian after throwing her off and saying, I'm going to pay you back because now he has the money or means to pay him back. Now that Hector has blackmailed. That he is. Do you understand what that means?
No.
We need a little bit of
Sorry.
context.
Yeah, a little more. Come back, comment again, and clear it out
Yes.
for us.
Okay,
What
Go
were
ahead.
you
but
talking about?
Fortunately, I remember last week we had a little bit of confusion because one of the listeners suggested that Bunchy had some money from before,
Right.
which we didn't realize. But Deucey the Snowman points out that Bunchy had 1.4 million that he got from the settlement from the Catholic Church, which I do remember because
Yeah.
Ray had, encouraged him to go to that meeting and get that check. So we have
Right.
that cleared up.
We are just such bad hosts, and want to thank you guys out there for keeping us honest and reminding us of things that we forget sometimes.
That's why we have the comment section.
That's why we have the comment section. It enhances the show. We make a better product for everybody out there. So
And then
thank
you
for
guys
coming.
look like
toes.
geniuses.
And you are geniuses. So, what else is out there?
Okay, let's see. From Mr. Soimi, there were too many moments in this after show where I question.
Uh-oh. It's a
I
negative
think
one.
we're gonna skip to the next one.
You guys, be nice.
Come on, where's the love? Okay, ready? Give me shelter. Sorry, but I can't feel sorry for the rapist, destructive, manipulative Marisol. I understand the same was done to her, but consider this analogy. One gets hit and driven off the road by a drunk driver and the victim survives. Still dealing with the trauma of the event, is right that the victim then drives drunk and puts someone else's life in danger? No one would like to hear that justification.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. Marisol is an unlikable character, and but it was tough for me. I know we talked about this. It was tough for me to see her go the way that she went. But this episode picks up right where that left off, and Hector is told by Ray that they're going to find Marisol's body in the lake, which they did, and it seems like Ray's fixing job, his cover-up job, has come to pass. What stood out for you guys just in this episode overall? It doesn't have to be necessarily that Marisol gets found in Lake Hollywood, but did that really hit home for you, that this is all coming to a head at the end of this season?
I know you didn't want us to go there, but I'm shocked that they found her.
Really? Okay.
Because I didn't think that her body would float and come up on shore.
But remember, the car was left there in the middle of the road with all the doors open, and Ray sent a text from Marisol's phone that said, "I'm sorry, I love you," and he left the car there. So I think it was going to be pretty obvious to anybody driving by.
Right.
True. Okay. See, this is why people get on our case, because I didn't think that through.
It's been a couple weeks. What did you see out there, Olivia, this week in this week's episode that stood out to you?
What stood out to me was everyone was kind of in a panic, I feel. Usually I feel like Ray thinks that he has it together, but the fact that he was willing to let his family go and his children go means that he knows he's in some deep stuff. Yeah,
so Ray asks his kids to go with Bunchy and Teresa away so that, whatever's about to happen, and this is all coming to a head very, very quickly, that they will be somewhat shielded from it. Connor tonight, you guys know my feelings on Connor. 10 being I hate him. I don't want to ever see him. 0, he's a great guy. I'd say he was about a 2 tonight. Just very, he was just very... Yes, he was very respectful of his dad, but at the same time, I thought like the teenage bravado was there too that he had before. But I saw a little respect from son to father tonight. I kind of like that he was willing to go that way.
Were you surprised that he didn't put up a bigger fight? Because I thought he was going to go out kicking and screaming, and pretty much they put him in his place, and he left.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Well, I think that he was ready to kind of put up a fight, but when Ray made that comparison of his own sister, he kind of like backed off a little bit.
That's a great point. I think the way that Ray used his tactics to say, "Are you ready to help me?" And of course Connor's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go like bust somebody, and you're gonna give me a gun, and we're gonna go get him." But Ray makes a different request, but it's still a request all the same. It's it's a task from his dad, and I think that was kind of a cool way to handle it, and I really like the way that scene was written. I like that one a lot. But the tension is building here, and we've got this big scenario now where Ray is using the fact that he covered up Marisol's murder to his advantage by placing a 30-1 bet that Hector will be knocked out in the 6th round of his upcoming fight against Whitaker. A big play. He plans to give Dimitri $60 million to make all of this go away, and so that he can live on in peace. Guys, I think this plan is going to go awry. I don't see it coming to pass flawlessly. What do you think of what's to come?
The second, what was his name? Big Ernie, Fat Ernie.
Yeah, Fat Ernie too.
The second I saw Fat Ernie die on the shitter, I said, this is not, like, even if they get the bet made, I mean, just... it's all playing out wrong.
Yeah, but Mickey recovers from it and goes to some hotshot Instagram star's house. Very Dan Bilzerian, kind of Instagram star out there partying in Vegas. But I tell you, when the first thing that scared me about that scene, tell me if you guys felt the same way, was when the star took a picture of Mick being in Vegas, where Mick just committed this murder of little Bill Prim.
That's right.
I mean, it's only an hour away. It is an hour away. It's not actually in Vegas, but now you know that Mickey Donovan is in Las Vegas, and I'm sure there's a lot of people looking for him. He talks later in the episode about being in the witness protection program and giving up Sully and, that stuff that we've seen a couple seasons ago. So had he just posted to millions and millions of people, I think you've just told everybody where you are.
Yeah.
So you think that's going to come back later on?
I do.
I didn't even think of that. That's crazy.
Because Mickey says in the cab that he doesn't know what an Instagram star is, right? That the stripper can't
Sugar had to tell him.
explains to him, it's something that makes you really famous. But Mickey doesn't know. It posts a picture of you at your location, at a certain time to millions and millions of people. And I think that's going to get out that someone's going to find him. And,
My goodness.
and we saw this in this episode, and I know I'm talking a lot. I really mean to pass this to you guys. You saw the Boston train line where Mickey was going to go back. And I think someone's coming from the other direction on that Boston line. I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
That's crazy. That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah, prediction. Just because I think, Mickey, the $2 million ping pong game was kind of stupid. Let's be honest. I mean, are you really going to bet $2 million?
He's the champ.
He was the prison champ, though. I thought that was funny.
In that scene, Mickey got really defensive about that jacket. Did you see his face scrunch up about that? Like, everything else he said about him being old, but that jacket, he took it to heart. Yeah. I knew he was going to get his ass whipped because Mickey was pissed about the joke about his jacket.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that was a real ping pong ball or like in Forrest Gump when they computer generated the ping pong ball so that they weren't actually playing, but they just would CGI in the ping pong ball. So it looked legit. I mean, they were using good paddles and it seemed like it was really happening. And the guy got hit in the face, which I thought was kind of funny. What did you think of that whole scenario?
I don't know. I'm glad that Mickey beat him. That guy was a little, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand him. He was so annoying. He had to be put in his place.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mickey did it. I love that he did it, that he got the betting slips and took care of things for Ray, because Ray, on the other side, is being arrested by Frank, a spectacularly named character. And Ray's in real trouble here, too, guys. I mean, how do you see this playing out? Is Ray... he's arrested. They've got the video on him of walking in with Belikov and the girl who was dead, and him walking out without Belikov, and they arrested him. What do you think?
I have a prediction, but I'm going to wait.
Okay.
I'm going to wait till the end.
Okay, can you dance around the prediction?
This is what I'm going to say. Hector's going to end up going down one way or another.
Okay. For the murder of Marisol? Wow. Okay.
Ray's going to throw somebody a bone.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from on that, because there was a lot of tension on Hector when the police were there, and he was just, and when the camera cut away, when they said, well, and where were you, last night, and he looks up, I thought for a minute there that he was going to tell him the truth. Did you think the same? No?
I didn't. I thought that whole scenario was kind of downplayed, because after they questioned Hector, they just went out to Terry and was like, he said he was with you. Is that true? And Terry was like, yeah. And they're like, okay, have a good night. What?
But
that's it?
Yeah.
And OG, did they ever confirm with Hector? Did we ever hear Hector say that he was training?
Well, they asked him where he was, and he was like, I was here.
He did say that.
He said he was here training.
Okay, so
No. They did not. No, they did not. Well, they asked him, but he didn't answer. Camera cuts away, and then they all walk out, and then they ask Terry.
Right.
Hector
he
says,
didn't answer?
That's what I'm saying during the episode. I don't think he actually said.
He answered in the office, but they didn't show it. It was a way to, keep the suspense going as to whether or not he was going to tell
I didn't even
the
catch
truth.
that.
Yeah.
Hector's going to take the fall, but Ray's still going to throw him under the bus.
Really?
Okay, but Ray is in his own sort of trouble, right? I mean, he's in with the Belikov murder. So, Frank's got him and has offered him this witness protection. Do you wish at all that Ray would have taken the deal and gone into witness protection?
I almost wish he did, but to be honest with you, I don't even think that could keep him safe.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, this man's from a different country, and he still is on Ray's ass. I don't think distance really makes a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's witness protection, right? So Mickey survived witness protection when he was, when he turned in Sully and all of his guys and ratted them out. This is why Ray says he won't do it, because he doesn't want to be a rat.
Right.
There's part of me that says he may have to do it.
Well, his family's on the line. It's kind of, I understand you don't want to be a rat, and I understand where he's coming from, but when your entire family and your children are at risk, you kind of, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's a tough decision.
How does it even play out for the show?
Well, yeah, for like plot
reasons.
Like,
I can't believe it
Yeah.
because I'm like, I just don't know how the show would play. I just logically, I can't believe that he's going to do it.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Logically, okay. I think he may have to seriously consider this after next week because I'm skipping ahead, and I will repeat this when we get to the end of the show. But I think something's going to go wrong with the fight. I don't think Hector's going to take his fall in the 6th round as he's supposed to, and I think Ray is going to have no other choice but to go into this witness protection program.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think so. But is witness protection still even on the table? Because after he presents Sonia, and I mean, is he telling the truth? He could even be bluffing. I'm like all over the place. I don't know.
No.
I don't know who to trust, you guys. I don't know who to trust.
I know.
Everybody's trying to cover their own behind. Like, I don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
I know.
I just really think that Hector's going to end up getting the short end of the stick out of everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So Hector's finishing last next week. But you're right. I mean, they got Sonia. They found Kavitsky. They got her back, and she ratted out Ray. And it reminds me of what Abby said when this whole situation was going down. She said, you should kill her.
That's right. Wives know best.
I just got goosebumps.
Wives know. She did say that.
She did.
And here it was. I mean, just presented to us to say, you know what? Wow.
Why didn't you just drop her?
Well, I mean, he tried. I mean, I understood the motivation why he didn't want to do it. She had a daughter. He has a daughter. There's a bond there. You know, they had a romantic encounter.
And she also had cancer.
And she has cancer, of course.
And she was going to die. She's going to die anyway. She said she was.
That is true. Yeah. So...
That's not funny.
It's not funny.
It's not. You guys are.
But yeah,
gallows
now
humor.
she's still alive and she's caught. Like she has all the information, and here she is.
And she's ratting out Ray, and you know Frank says
So
at the
they
end of the
say.
episode, he says, "You're screwed, Ray." Basically, another word for it. I'm cutting down on the cussing. So he's in big trouble, guys. I don't know how he gets out of the police station right now. They've got him on tape. They've got someone, giving them all the details. Do you even think he gets out of the police station next week?
It's Ray Donovan. He's always going to get out.
He gets out of everything.
He gets out of everything.
But this one's really tight, guys. I don't know how he gets out of this.
I don't know how he gets out, but I know he'll get out.
Okay.
He is in
Connor
a bit
will
of
get
a
him out.
pickle.
No, I'm just kidding.
Connor to the
Connor.
rescue.
Oh,
Connor
yeah.
will get him out. I don't know. I don't know.
No, he'll find a way. He always finds a way. No one, don't worry.
By the way, let me go on the record and say I would love it if Connor got him out of jail. I think that would be fantastic.
He's been waiting for his
Connor
moment.
shows up. He's the new head of the business. He gets
Yes,
Ray out.
gets his way out there.
I love it. Oh, that would be hilarious to me. No, that would be horrible. So I hope that doesn't happen at all. Before we move on to the next topic, I want to remind everyone, please subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes. Give us a thumbs up, or just throw a bunch of shade at us in the comments. I actually personally enjoy reading that
guys
stuff. I
seem
think
to
it's
do
kind
it
of
so
funny.
well.
No one likes shade.
I
No one likes shade.
think it's funny. I think it's funny. So thank you so much for listening out there. Again, use that hashtag ABTV Ray Donovan when you're contacting us on social media. So Avi's alive. Yay!
He looks like hell.
He's in he's in big trouble health-wise, but the police are obviously going to take him to the hospital. I think he's going to get better. But man, that was tough to see him. And he talks about a vision. You know, having seen Ezra came to him in a vision and said, basically you guys need to shape up, and you're in a really bad place. I thought it was kind of a bad omen for what's to come.
Well, I believe he probably did, because they say when you're near death, things come to you that would never come to you in the most, physically fit form. It's like when you're right there at death's door, you get a message.
Really?
And I bet they beat him to a pulp. I bet he was right there getting ready to croak, and he got this message.
Yeah. Okay.
I've heard that.
You believe that?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. What do you think about that, Olivia?
I mean, it could very well be true, but also he kind of subconsciously knows that they are in a lot of trouble. So if you were to imagine it in this way, it would make sense,
And then he's probably heard things that those guys have been saying. Mm-hmm. They're thinking he's, unconscious and whatnot. They've probably been chit-chatting, and he probably knows things. He's probably
they
heard
speak
things.
Russian.
He might know Russian.
I know, he's
You
like a
never
ninja.
know.
He
True,
knows
yeah.
everything.
He was beaten down really, really bad, and it was tough to see him in that state. It was when Ray was talking to his mom on the phone. I
Did
was
that
like,
just
oh,
melt your heart?
Yeah.
She recorded So You Think You Can Dance.
I thought it was Dancing with the Stars, the season finale.
Whatever.
One-
She was
one of the
dancing
dance shows.
some dance show.
Yeah, some dance show, but that was really cute. Yeah, to see her. And Ray is like, he doesn't know what is happening with Avi, and yet he just projects this, calmness to her all the same, which made it doubly, cathartic to see Avi still alive, and he's gonna get back to his mom and hopefully watch that reality show. Mm-hmm. Oh, one other thing I want to mention: we now have an Android app for AFTERBUZZ TV.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we have an AFTERBUZZ TV Android app, and it's coming to iOS soon. So be sure to download that. It's a really easy way to get the after shows for any of the shows that you like out there. We cover hundreds and hundreds of shows, and we all sit on a bunch of panels here. So be sure to download that. Meanwhile, Abby knows that the cancer test results are coming soon, and she's panicking. She's worried she maybe made the wrong call about her mastectomy and that she now has inoperable cancer. You guys know my feelings on this. I'm sure I'm annoying the listeners talking about stage 0 versus later stages of cancer. You guys go first, and then I will react to your comments on where is Abby's at right now, and that scene between her and Ray.
First of all, just logically, because you and I think alike. Logically, nobody's gonna call you and tell you that you got this terrible condition of cancer over the phone. They're just not, and they're certainly not gonna make you wait. They would have asked her to come in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's fine. When I heard that she's fine.
Okay, so you think it's going to be cleared up? Like they have a
Yes.
misdiagnosis?
Yes.
That would be cool. What do you think?
I don't know. I think she'll be fine, but God forbid she isn't fine, then this story's gonna get crazy, because what if they have to flee or Ray's in jail and she has cancer? Like, what are they gonna do? She's just gonna be by herself.
Yeah, there's a lot happening for her right now and surrounding this family, and it's a very stressful time. But I thought it was interesting, the scene between Ray and Abby was about her problems, but the way that he approached it with her was from like a fixing mentality. And I've always heard this, that men want to fix things.
I read that too.
And women, just kind of want to vent and have their man be a soundboard and, to move on from there. Your eyes are lighting up.
Did you
right
read
now.
that book?
Which book?
Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus.
No, I have not read that book.
Wait, I don't even know what
I'm
that's
not
called.
really- I
But
think
it's something like that, and that's why I read it.
That is a book.
I'm like,
book.
Frank.
Yeah.
Funny.
McCall read it.
I did. I read it. Yes. But, it's just so ingrained in his DNA now. He doesn't, I don't even know if he can really be as compassionate as he wants to be. Yeah. And also, he's dealing with so much stuff. He hasn't really had a chance to turn off the fixer component of his life.
Right. He's in that mental place right now.
He's in the zone.
Well, that's what he is. That's his career. He's a fixer.
He's a fixer, and he's trying to fix the situation with Abby by asking her, what can I do? And there's nothing you can do. And Abby
what
sort
kind
of
question is that?
It's a bad question, and that was the point I was making with him just wanting to fix everything. But Abby is so in love with this new place with Ray sharing his work plans with her that I think she kind of lets him off the hook and says, go do what you have to do, and that and he tries to get to the airport but is instantly harassed by the police. But I'm feeling for Abby in this, and I think it's because it's the strength of the actor doing such a great job that I actually do care about her storyline a lot. And so, we've got a lot to solve next week in this season finale episode, which is going to be crazy. I mean, we got Hector's fight, which is the biggest one. We got, the murder investigation, with Terry knowing the truth about Marisol not being accidentally drowned. And, we got a ton of other things going on here. So it's an exciting episode. I mean, I'm excited about this.
I don't know how they're going to pack all this into
I
an
know.
hour. Isn't that, is the finale 2 hours?
I do not know that answer.
Oh my goodness.
But actually tonight's episode was kind of short. If you look, I played it on demand. It was only about 49 minutes.
Oh really?
Tonight, yeah. So it was a shorter episode, and it could be leading to something that's a little bit longer. I hope so. I hope I get every minute of Ray Donovan out of this season that I can, because it's such a good and fun watch all the way through. So let's talk about Terry real quick before we go to predictions. Terry, no cop anymore, so we're not really seeing him.
Yeah. Where was Homegirl?
She wasn't around right now, and they were planning to go to, Hector's event. So we didn't get to see that event yet, so I'm hoping that's something we get to see next week. That's on my wish list. But Terry is again put in a really difficult position where Mickey knows the truth, Ray knows the truth, and Terry kind of knows but is put in such a difficult spot. He's on Team Campos. Mm-hmm. He's made it to where he wants to go, and now he's in the corner of somebody who murdered his sister. I really feel for Terry. What do you guys have to say about Terry this episode?
I think all this emotional stress is wearing on Terry.
Yeah.
Clearly.
He's not in a good place health-wise. We know this.
And he collapsed in tonight's episode,
and he collapsed. He's not in a good place. And honestly, I worry that Terry even sees this fight happen.
Wow.
I am that worried about his health.
Yeah, I mean, he was shaking and fell over, but you're right. I mean, that's a great thought.
Didn't he have a razor in his hand when he fell?
I don't remember that.
What was in his? He had something
Well,
in
he
his hand.
just had gotten out of the shower.
Yeah, I feel like he had something in his hand. I thought he stabbed himself. I thought.
Oh my goodness.
My eyes are bad too, so I thought. That's why I screamed when he fell. Because I thought he had a knife in his hand, and I thought he had stabbed himself.
Imagine that's how he goes.
Girl, I didn't think Marisol was going to go that way. I thought she was going to jump off the Staples Center. But I am very worried about Terry. And I think that Terry is becoming everybody's punching bag inadvertently.
Okay.
Because he cares about all the stuff that's going on, and nobody wants to be honest, and they end up being rude to Terry through their frustrations. It's not necessarily with him. He just has to take the burden and the blunt of everybody's anger. Yeah. And it is wearing on him. And he is not... Terry's the one I'm worried about the most. Mm-hmm. Ray could go to jail right now. And I'd be like, okay, well, he's been doing so much stuff. Like, he's got to slow down.
It's about time.
It's like about time. But Terry, I'm really worried about Terry.
I agree. Well, because you see Daryl's giving him such a hard time when in reality it's really not Daryl's position is not his fault.
It's not.
Hector is kind of mean to him as well, and Terry just is his biggest fan and wants him to win, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everybody's just keeping all these secrets from Terry. He doesn't know, he doesn't really know, but he probably assumes, which can be wearing him down.
Yeah.
So he is in a tough spot.
Really tough spot, and he wants to be in the corner when the champion wins, and he's going to be really disappointed if Hector holds to his plan to take a dive in the 6th round, which he said right in front of Dimitri that he would do it, so now he's beholden to both Ray and Dimitri. But we've seen all season long that Hector's a very emotional character, makes some very bad decisions, with his life, and I think anything can happen next week.
Imagine they would be out $60 million. Where is that money going to come from?
Yeah.
But think about it. What did Ray tell Hector in the car? He said, if you don't do this, they're going to kill me and you.
Yeah, that's right.
And Hector's so damn crazy. And he lost his daughter. Now Marisol's gone. I mean, who is Hector really living for? He might as well, in his mind, he's probably like, well, hell, I might as well be gone.
That's true.
And he's already mad at Ray secretly for trying to blackmail him.
Yeah. That's true.
So he might just out of revenge say, well, you know what? Kill us both.
No.
You see how my mind gets to going?
I love it. No, I love it, though. That would be crazy. Let's hope that doesn't happen, though. Okay? We did predict Marisol jumping off the building of the arena where the boxing is. So we had some revenge wishes there, but that didn't come to pass. So let's move into our final segment of the show, which we like to do, and we've hinted at this all episode long, but predictions for the final episode of episode 4.
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Season 4 comes to a close next week. I'm going to predict Connor comes in and kills Dimitri. No, I'm kidding. There's no way that would happen. Olivia, go first.
I was thinking when you brought up the cop, do you think that she's gonna like come into play?
Oh, good
If
one.
Ray like, you know, gets into some trouble in jail, maybe she comes in handy.
I've had that thought for a while. I think she's gonna pop back up. I thought she would be the one to like not crack the case about Marisol, but she would be on the scene regarding Marisol, right? That didn't necessarily happen. But I think she will pop back up the next episode.
Yeah, well, don't you feel like every character has a reason? She's there for a reason.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out
And
why.
it's not just, and I think you're right, I don't think it's just like a love interest, like a quick love interest, and, you know, Terry has somebody new. I think you're right. I really like that prediction, and I think it could get to the point where, remember last season, Ray got Terry out of jail just before Terry was going to get killed by the Aryans. So... And I remember Terry saying, you know, what did it cost you, Ray, to get me out? And Ray said, nothing. And now we may see a reverse where Ray is in jail, arrested, screwed, and Terry's going to be the one to come to his rescue. So I'm stealing your prediction and adding to it that it's really good. So I like that one a lot. Any other predictions for next week? What about the Hector fight? What's good? No, I'm going to put this to you. I'm not going to let you off the hook. Is Hector going to take the fall in the 6th round according to plan?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I feel like just to spice it up, they're gonna make him win the thing, and then they'll end it, and then we have to wait till next season to see like what happens.
No, that would be a horrible way to end. No way. That would be
think?
Awful. Absolutely.
Yeah, but they would do it to us just to be like, you guys see what happens.
No, that's not a good cliffhanger at all.
Well, I mean, it's her prediction. You look. Let's make a bet.
To each his own. Come on.
I put that to you, and then I made fun of your entire prediction, so that's on me. But that would leave too much hanging, right? I mean, we have to know. We have to see the reactions of Ray and Dimitri if that were to happen.
I know what's going to happen.
Okay,
What's
go ahead.
What's going to happen?
Let me tell you something. Daryl is mad.
That's
Shout
right.
out to Pooch Hall.
We didn't mention him tonight. You're right, yeah.
What did Pooch do a couple episodes ago? He knocked that other dude out with those brass knuckles. He's already pissed at Hector. I'm not your sparring partner. You ain't fighting nobody.
So he's gonna knock Hector out?
He gonna sucker punch Hector before the fight. There ain't gonna be no fight.
I feel like there's not gonna be a fight.
I
There's
know what's
too
about
much.
to happen. Daryl's gonna get his.
Wait, can I add to the predictions?
Yeah, of course.
Hector is going to get caught for the murder before the fight, and there's not gonna be a fight.
He's gonna get caught right after he gets knocked out by Daryl, and there's not gonna be a fight. Then his mugshot's gonna have a bloody face.
Okay.
I mean, drop the mic and get out of here. You guys are
It's
just
time to go.
great. I mean, that was so good, and I could see it happening.
I'm saying,
right?
because Daryl's emotions have been left. We don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
But he's hurt. He's already feeling like he's exiled. He's the half black one in the family. He's like, I'm sick of you guys.
Yeah.
He's gonna get his. He's gonna say, you don't think I'm good enough to fight with you? I'm just an amateur. Look at my right hook.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I agree with you, because I don't think tonight's scenes were throwaway scenes. I just don't think they were, Daryl's feeling sorry for himself again. I think it was, more than that. I totally agree with you. Wow. I don't even know how to follow that. I mean, you guys were great with those predictions. Wow. I'm going to have to say that at the end of this episode next week, either Mickey is going to be one of two things. He's going to be on the train back to Boston.
Oh yeah. Is he gonna take Sugar with him though?
Yeah, no, Sugar's gone. Sugar's gone forever.
We'll never see Sugar.
We'll never see Sugar again.
Or
She got
Sugar.
her $10,000 and she's
She's
done.
out.
Peace. I have heard of that though, that there is a stripper plane going from Burbank to Vegas every Thursday night.
There is.
Yeah, okay, so it actually does happen. It was kind of cool to see Burbank Airport, by the way. I love Burbank Airport. If you live in LA, you should travel out of Burbank Airport because it's small. You get right to the gate really quickly. Anyway, back to the show. And I really like that everything was locally set this episode. The pacing of the episode just quickly and the way that it looked on camera is very orange. It's the color is getting a lot darker, and I think that's little subtle cues for what's to come. So, okay, I got to predict what's going to happen with Dimitri here, though you guys have a great prediction. All right, let me just stick with Mickey. I think Mickey will either be on the train back to Boston or he'll be dead at the end of the episode, okay?
Don't do that.
Because I think he was, he posted on Instagram where he was, and I think millions of people are going to see it. And so maybe not dead, maybe arrested, dead or arrested, or, or on the train back to Boston. I do not think he will be in LA at the end of this season finale that we've got coming up. I think there was unintended consequences, and the writers gave us a clue with him not knowing what Instagram was. And when you get posted on an account with millions of followers, that's a lot of exposure for an ex-con.
That was like a very prominent part of that scene.
Yeah.
So I think that you're right.
Okay. We will see. Anything else? Any other thoughts or predictions before we close it out, guys?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
That's it. Can't wait.
I'll go have some more wine and I'll think of something.
Okay. Can't wait for next week to close out this season with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next Monday night for the finale of Season 4. Until then, we have been Olivia Gabaree.
You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @thereal_O_G.
And McCall Hall.
The Real OG Psych. This is The Real OG. I'm McCall Hall, and you can find me on social media when sports and pop culture collide at McCall Hall.
And I'm Frank Maiorana. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @Let'sGoFrankM. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go out, be blessed, have a great week. We'll see you back soon.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.